You're now going to take your ELA 7 Unit 2 exam. At this time, fill out your name, the name of your campus, your ELA teacher's name, today's date, your proctor, and the name of your homeroom teacher. After you're finished, make sure you also fill out the Yes Prep Honor Code statement. I, your first and last name, agree to abide by the Yes Prep Public Schools Honor Code. I will act with integrity and will not lie, cheat, or steal. My answers on this test represent my own knowledge. At this time, pause the video to finish filling out this information. Now, read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Then fill in the answer on your answer document. In the following paper, Gabe hopes to persuade readers to have a more upbeat outlook on Mondays. Read Gabe's paper and look for any corrections he should make. When you finish, answer the questions that follow. At this moment, pause the video to silently and independently read the passage. Now that you've finished reading the passage, I will read the questions. Number 1, what change needs to be made in sentence 5? Pause the video to answer question 1. Question 2, what change should be made in sentence 9? Pause the video to answer question 2. Question 3, how does sentence 12 need to be changed? Pause the video to answer question 3. Question 4. What is the correct way to write sentence 13? Pause the video to answer question 4. Question 5. What is the correct way to write sentence 20? Pause the video to answer question 5. Question 6. What change needs to be made in sentence 24? Pause the video to answer question 6. Question 7. What change should be made in sentence 27? Pause the video to answer question 7. Now read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Then fill in the answer on your answer document. At this moment, pause the video to silently and independently read the passage. Now that you've finished reading the passage, I will read the questions and the answer choices. Question 8. Which word best describes the author's decision to buy the flower seed packets? F, thoughtful, G, obsessive, H, manipulative, or J, unplanned. At this moment, pause the video to answer question 8. Question 9. The author includes a description in paragraph 2 to convey that she, paragraph 2, growing up in the Pine Barrens, I was surrounded by trees. Although surrounded by foliage, plants, and flowers, my mother felt the need to fill our house with plants. She would plant towering, tall cacti, these gorgeous, pretty pink lotus flowers, and so many plants that I couldn't begin to name them all. Every year in early summer, she would create a makeshift, temporary garden in our backyard. She would even buy a little wire fence to help keep out the deer and rabbits, which to her exasperation, angry or annoyed, found their way over anyhow. Her guilty pleasure was tomatoes, red, plump, and juicy with ripeness. She would treasure her little garden and the life she could create with tiny seeds that came from other fruits and vegetables. She planted them time and time again, and I remember the happiness on her face and the joy in her voice when she wanted to show me what had grown. Though I really didn't ever express any interest, I never understood her gardening obsession, always thinking about something in a way that is not normal. The author includes a description in paragraph 2 to convey that she, A, had difficulty understanding her mother's fascination, great interest with gardening, B, believe her mother's constant gardening was an inconvenience? C. Resented to be angry or upset that her mother paid so much attention to the plants? Or D. Appreciated some of the plants her mother grew more than others? At this moment, pause the video to answer question 9. Question 10. What is the best summary of the selection? F. The author grew up watching her mother take pleasure in growing many kinds of plants, but she did not share her mother's interest in gardening. When she was a teenager, she decided to plant several flowers. After waiting several weeks, the author finally got to appreciate the joy of finding a sprouted seed. G. The author describes how she grew up surrounded by the many beautiful plants that her mother loved growing. One day, the author brought flower seeds and planted them. The author realized the plants require care. H. Growing plants gave the author's mother great joy and happiness, and she tried to share this experience with the author. The author was not interested in learning about gardening from her mother. One day, the author decided to buy packets of flower seeds. J. The author's mother loved gardening and grew many different kinds of plants, especially tomatoes. When the author came home with packets of flower seeds, her mother told her she would have to grow them on her own. After waiting several weeks, the author finally saw her flower seeds begin to grow. At this moment, pause the video to answer question 10. Question 11. The author's reaction when she found a morning glory vine in her pot suggests that she was A. Concerned, worried that the other seeds might not grow. B. Eager, excited to start growing more flowers. C. Certain that her mother would be pleased by her success. Or D. Surprised by how happy she felt when she saw the flowers sprout. At this moment, pause the video to answer question 11. Question 12. When the author brought the flower seeds home, her mother reacted in a way that F. Forced the author to seek help elsewhere from someone else. G. Showed that she was pleased by, happy about, the author's attempt to care for the seeds. H. Demonstrated her lack of interest in the author's hobbies. Or J. Showed she expected the author to be responsible for the care of the seeds. At this moment, pause the video to answer question 12. Question 13. Read this sentence from the selection. I believe that patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. The author begins and ends the selection with this idea in order to emphasize that A. Finding an interesting hobby may take many years. B. Positive, good results take time but are worth the wait. C. Many people focus on what they want in the present, happening right now. Or D. Completing a long-term goal is difficult, hard, or a challenge for most people. At this moment, pause the video to answer question 13. Now, read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Then fill in the answer on your answer document. At this moment, pause the video to silently and independently read the passage. Question 14. Read these sentences from the selection. We are losing biodiversity every day, Fowler explains. It is kind of a drip, drip, drip. It's also inevitable. The comparison in Fowler's statement helps the reader understand that F. Few people realize the consequences of losing seed varieties. G. Seed varieties are lost slowly, but the loss accumulates, grows over time. H. Many seed varieties have been lost because of natural disasters. Or J. Scientists think seed varieties could be saved through improved agricultural practices. At this moment, pause the video to answer question 14. Question 15. Read the dictionary entry below. Critical. 1. Relating to a stage of illness. 2. Tending to evaluate unfavorably. 3. Needed to serve a purpose. 4. Using careful judgment. Which definition best fits how critical is used in paragraph 1? It was designed to store something even more valuable and critical to our very survival. food. Which definition best fits how critical is used in paragraph 1? A, definition 1, B, definition 2, C, definition 3, or D, definition 4? At this moment, pause the video to answer question 15. Question 16. Paragraph 4 is most likely about, or paragraph 4 is mostly about F, how countries decide which seeds to send to the Svalbard Seed Vault. G, why Norway decided to sponsor the construction of the Svalbard Seed Vault. H, the process for shipping new seeds to the Svalbard Seed Vault. Or J, the diversity of the content stored in the Svalbard Seed Vault. At this moment, pause the video to answer question 16. Written composition. Expository paragraph. Read the information in the box below. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy said that the United States should set a goal of landing an American on the moon by 1970. After much hard work and preparation, 2 Americans landed on the moon in 1969. Think carefully about the following statement. Some people think it is easier to accomplish something if they set a goal in advance. Write a paragraph explaining why setting a goal is important. Be sure to clearly state your controlling idea, organize and develop your explanation carefully, choose your words carefully, use correct spelling, capitalization, punctuation, grammar, and sentences. At this moment, pause the video to complete your composition.